remember I said I like to dance, and
Yes, yes.
when I was little, my parents couldn't afford, and I just felt like saying my yes fully to God was also leaving behind that part, my desire to dance.
Okay.
I was given away, like, because entering consecrated life, I would never imagine that I would dance again.
Uh-huh.
So I remember really like giving that to Jesus. So guess what? When I was in Italy, we have the Focolare has a performing group. So they are made up of consecrated women. Like there is
Okay.
one, and there is another group, a band that is the men, like the consecrated men.
Okay.
So one of the girls who was part of, she danced in that group. She got sick and she had to have an operation, and so she couldn't dance like for at least a year. So I was in my second year of school of formation with the Focolare, and they invited me. They asked, "Would you mind like replacing her because
Uh-huh.
we really need someone to
Did they
dance?"
know that you could dance?
Well, I always did some performance for when the guests came,
Okay.
and or like when we, the group of Brazilians, went to Italy, we prepared a dance, and we during one of the events, we
Uh-huh.
performed that dance. And so they saw me on stage, and so they saw that I could dance. So they asked me to be part of that.
And how
So
long were you with them?
so I was with them for 4 years.
4 years. So
Yeah.
that 6 months turned into 4 years.
Yes. So that 6 months was just that first part
Uh-huh.
while I was still like in my school, and then when I became formally like I entered one of the Focolare communities.
Uh-huh.
Then I continue. Like they asked me, like, "Can you continue because now you already learned, and so it would be really helpful."
So where does this group perform? What do they do?
So they um, basically like bring the gospel message to a young audience. So we would go like all over Italy.
Uh-huh.
It's yeah, we went like in my years. We went to Germany, Switzerland, Portugal, Austria. So we learned, like I learned to sing in German
Uh-huh.
because I sang for mass. During the concert, I would dance mostly.
Okay.
And in that time when I entered, we actually it was a musical, and we were sharing about the story of the Focolare, how it started
Okay.
during World War II. So it was like that story. So I was one of the students, the group of first girls who started. So I was one of them. So I danced for the whole performance.
That's cool. So you use the art form
Yeah.
to minister to get the message out
Yes.
there.
Yes.
That's better than like a lecture or something like
Hmm.
that. Yeah. So
Hmm.
music, dance, and
Hmm.
performance, and you did that
Yeah.
for 4 years.
For 4 years there in Italy, and then my director asked me, they need someone in New York.
Uh huh.
Would you be happy to go? And then I said yes to Jesus for whatever he
Yes.
asks me for. So if it's New York, I'll go to New York. So I came to New York in 2001, like the New Year's of, yeah, New Year's Eve of 2001.
Wow.
2000 to 2001.
Uh huh.
So
Right at the turn of the century.
yeah. So when I was in New York, it was upstate New York. So we have a center there, and since I was still young, I was still in my 20s, like late 20s, and the woman who was responsible, like there is always like two people responsible for a center of the
Okay.
Focolare. So that is usually from the women's side and from the men's side, like they
Okay.
work together.
Uh
And
huh.
so the woman told me, Joelma, so you dance. Like, can you help our young people? Like, can you do something like
So,
some
uh huh.
workshops with them or some performances? So I started doing something, and it was one of the most beautiful experiences for me because I was not formally I only learned in Italy. Like with that, since they were professional, they really taught me. Like I had my whole training, like ballet training.
Uh-huh.
And in those 4 years, basically, I only learned, but I didn't know that I was capable of making something myself, like creating a dance from scratch. I didn't know that.
Wow.
And so when they asked me, I was really scared. I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Like I have never choreographed anything.
Uh-huh.
And to me, like it was just like the most beautiful experience with Jesus, like to be there by myself and praying like, please, like help me because I don't know what I'm going to do.
Uh-huh.
And then something would just come up. Like I would have
Wow.
ideas and
Wow.
yeah,
Isn't that funny? How when you entered the community, you thought you were leaving dance
yeah.
behind, little to know that you would be going to Italy to study dance
Yes.
and to use dance as an art form to preach, to
Hmm.
spread the word, to minister to people.
Yeah.
Wow, how God moves in wonderful
Yeah.
ways.